Well, so in 2013, I just came up with the idea. It happened because I was doing a lot of courses where we interact with New York City, taking students to schools. And I thought, what if I asked a stranger to write a poem? So for a good chunk of years, every time I rode the subway, I asked a stranger to write a poem. I just would get on the train, look around like a crazy person because nobody's really doing that, and then like see who I was connecting to, and then find the guts to walk up to them. And I have over 2,000 poems. I'm not asking as much. Sometimes it goes in spurts now. It's not over. I love it. It's amazing. So it was I think it does relate to all this because it so connects New Yorkers to each other, and you find out that so many people are like would love to just talk to someone on the train. They're nervous and strange until you talk to them, and then they write poems that are just so revealing. It's really incredible. I don't do it as much. I don't know, something to do with different periods, either stuff I'm going through or like presidential election stuff that makes things so that you can't go on the subway and put that energy out. It's like a lot of energy. And generally speaking, the payback is that if you're having a bad day, it makes it better to do any connection to anybody. It's interesting. I'm glad you asked about that, but I do think that the history of connecting, of extra efforts at connecting to grandma and grandpa relate to this project, that it is pretty much doing the same thing. Oh, and then I would publish them on the web on, www.365, poems by New Yorkers. And I put the picture of the person writing and then the picture of the poem and then a little discussion of the interaction and a transcription.
And could you describe a particularly memorable poem?
There's one I love, but it was one of the first ones, and the little girl was 7. I'm not going to quote it perfectly, but she blew me away. It's called Spush Cacao, and it goes like this: Spush Cacao is a word no one knows, not even I. I'm guessing that it's a very sharp rock that never ends. Spush Cacao. And then there was another woman who wrote about, she was very big in civil rights movement. And one of the lines was, she asked for something beautiful and free. She asked for a part of me. And that was me asking for a poem. It's like beautiful and free. It's really, it's such a great project, but it isn't easy. It's just not. I remember, so PBS followed me around on the train and they said, oh, you're not going to get any poems when we're with our camera. And I got 3. And they did a whole segment. So it's really not so hard to get the poems, but it's not so easy to ask. And it's not that hard to ask, but you just have to cross some threshold that I'm not always willing to do. But it must have to do with also life things, like the more drama with teenagers, the less your bandwidth on the train is to like think to do this. I guess I'm painting a picture as I hear it. I do a lot of things, so I could do less and do things better. Some things I do really well, but I think I still want to do the poetry project more. And I think there's some end manifestation of it that I haven't found yet. Like it's really great on the radio, but I haven't gotten there, or something on the web.